Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wisdom English podcast.
Welcome to episode 201, everybody. We are starting a new century of episodes.
Brian, let me ask you something. Ever feel like your opinion gets lost in translation, or you accidentally offend someone when all you wanted was a good debate?
Oh, absolutely. It is a common struggle, especially when speaking English.
Today, we will equip you with the practical phrases and strategies to confidently share your thoughts and respectfully disagree, transforming those awkward silences into engaging conversations.
Imagine confidently stepping into any conversation, able to articulate your unique perspective and even challenge ideas, all while maintaining respect and strengthening connections.
What if I told you there are specific English phrases and techniques that can instantly elevate your communication game, allowing you to debate without damaging relationships? Stick around to unlock these secrets.
Picture this. You're in a meeting, a lively discussion breaks out, and you have a strong, well-reasoned point, but then you hesitate. How do you interject politely? How do you disagree without sounding confrontational?
If you've ever felt this communication roadblock, you're in the right place. We're breaking down the exact English phrases and mindsets you need to navigate these real-life scenarios with grace and impact.
Sarah, let's start with the basics. In school, we learn to say, I think, but native speakers use many other phrases.
That is true. I think is fine, but it can sound a bit weak. If you want to sound more casual, in the UK, we often say, I reckon. I reckon it's going to rain later.
In the US, we use I guess or I feel like. I feel like this movie is too long.
If you want to be stronger, use in my opinion or from my point of view.
And if you're really sure, I'm convinced that, or I truly believe. I'm convinced that this is the best pizza in New York.
You and your pizza, Brian. Another good one is as far as I'm concerned. This means this is just my opinion. Others might disagree.
Now, a conversation is a two-way street. How do you ask someone what they think?
The classic is, what do you think? But you can also say, what are your thoughts on this?
Or more casually, how do you feel about it?
If you're in a meeting, you might ask, do you have any views on this? This invites people to speak.
And a great phrase to check if someone agrees with you is, don't you agree? This project is going well, don't you agree?
Be careful, though. That's a leading question. You're pushing them to say yes.
So, someone gives an opinion. You agree. Don't just say, I agree. It's boring.
Agreed. You can say, that's a good point. Or stronger, I couldn't agree more. This means I agree 100%.
In the US, we have some fun idioms. You can say that again. It doesn't mean, please repeat it. It means, I strongly agree.
Or, you hit the nail on the head. It means you identified the problem exactly.
And a simple, natural one is, absolutely or totally. Do you think English is fun? Totally.
Wait, Brian, what about the confusing phrase, I don't disagree?
Ah, I don't disagree means you might be right, but I'm not fully convinced yet. It's a soft agreement.
Now we come to the hard part, disagreeing. In English, saying you're wrong is very rude.
Yes, never say you are wrong. Instead, use softeners. Start with an apology. I'm afraid I disagree.
Or validate them first. This is crucial. I see your point, but I understand where you're coming from, however.
This makes the other person feel heard. I see your point about the budget, but we need high-quality materials.
Another respectful phrase is I beg to differ. This is quite formal. I beg to differ. I think the sales figures are actually higher.
And if you want to be very polite, you can say, not necessarily. Everyone loves football. Not necessarily. Some people hate it.
Brian, imagine I am talking non-stop and you want to say something. How do you interrupt me?
I would say, can I just jump in here? Or, sorry to interrupt, but...
That is good. You can also say, may I add something?
If someone interrupts you and you want to finish, say, can I just finish my thought? Or, bear with me a second.
The key is tone. If you smile and speak softly, interrupting is okay. If you shout, it's aggressive.
Sometimes arguments happen because we misunderstand each other, so we need to clarify.
Exactly. Before you get angry, ask, "So, what you are saying is," and repeat their idea back to them.
Or, if I understood you correctly, you think. This saves so many relationships.
If you don't understand, say, "Could you elaborate on that?" Elaborate means to explain more details.
Or simply, what do you mean by that?
Brian, do you know the phrase playing devil's advocate?
Yes, I love doing this. It means arguing for the opposite side, just to test the argument, even if you don't actually believe it.
You can introduce it by saying, "Just to play devil's advocate for a moment, what if we lose money?"
It's a great way to debate without making it personal. I agree with you, but playing devil's advocate, what about the risks?
Sometimes the debate gets heated, people get angry. What do we do?
We need to de-escalate. Use phrases like, let's look at this from another perspective.
Or focus on the shared goal. We both want what is best for the company.
If you really cannot agree, use the magic phrase, let's agree to disagree.
I love that phrase. It means we have different opinions and that's okay. Let's stop arguing and be friends.
Another one is, we're going around in circles. This means we're repeating the same arguments and not making progress.
Context is everything. In a business meeting, you should be formal.
I have some reservations about this plan. Reservations means doubts.
In a casual context with friends, you can be more direct.
No way. You've got to be kidding me. Come on, be serious.
Yes, if I told Brian I think tea is bad, he would say, "You've got to be kidding me."
Because that's a crazy opinion, Sarah. Tea is just leaf water.
Let's look at some idioms. If you can't decide, you're on the fence. I'm on the fence about buying a new car.
If two people agree perfectly, they see eye to eye. Luckily, my boss and I see eye to eye on most things.
To say something very honestly, you say, "To be perfectly honest," or slang, TBH, to be honest.
And if you have a controversial opinion, you might say, this might be a hot take, but a hot take is an opinion that is likely to cause debate.
Okay, Brian, let's put this into practice. We're colleagues. We're debating, should the company return to the office or stay remote? I want to return to the office. You want to stay remote. Ready?
Born ready. Let's debate.
Brian, I firmly believe that we need to bring everyone back to the office. Collaboration is just better face to face. Don't you agree?
I see where you're coming from, Sarah. Being together is nice. However, I feel like our productivity has actually increased since we started working from home. People are happier.
I see your point, but playing devil's advocate, what about the company culture? If we never meet, we're just strangers on a screen. I reckon we're losing our team spirit.
I beg to differ. We can have team spirit online. To be perfectly honest, forcing people to commute for 2 hours a day kills spirit more than anything.
That's a fair point. The commute is terrible. But can I just jump in here? What if we did a hybrid model? 3 days in, 2 days home.
I'm on the fence about that, but it's not a bad idea.
Let's look at this from another perspective. It saves money on office rent, but keeps the connection.
Okay, I don't disagree. A hybrid model could work. I think we're seeing eye to eye on this compromise.
Excellent. I'm glad we could resolve this.
Cultural nuances versus directness.
Brian, we just finished a role play, but there is a hidden layer we haven't discussed yet, and that is culture. How we disagree in London is very different from how people might disagree in New York or Tokyo or Berlin.
That is a huge topic. In the U.S., we value directness. We have a saying, tell it like it is. If we don't like an idea, we say it clearly. We think being honest is the most respectful thing you can do.
But in many other cultures, including parts of Asia and even the UK, we value harmony and saving face. Being too direct can be seen as aggressive or rude. We prefer indirect communication. Instead of saying, that is a bad idea, we might say, that is an interesting idea. Have you considered the alternatives?
The famous British interesting. I learned the hard way that when a British person says that's interesting, they actually mean that is terrible.
Exactly. We rely on subtext. You have to read between the lines. So, listeners, if you're debating with someone from a different culture, you need to adjust your style. If you're speaking to a German or Dutch person, you can be more direct. If you're speaking to a Japanese or Thai person, you should be softer and more careful.
It is called cultural intelligence. When in doubt, always start with the softer phrases we taught you today, like, I see your point. It is safer to be too polite than too rude.
Moving on, let's talk about the non-verbal side of debating. Did you know that 70% of your message is not the words you use, but your body language and tone of voice? You can say the polite words, but if your face looks angry, the message will fail.
Absolutely. The biggest mistake people make is closed body language, crossing your arms, rolling your eyes, or turning your body away from the person. This sends a signal that says, I'm closed to your ideas. I'm right, and you are wrong.
Instead, you want open body language. Keep your arms uncrossed, lean in slightly to show interest, and most importantly, maintain eye contact. Not a scary staring contest, but enough to show respect. And don't forget the power of nodding.
Yes, nodding doesn't always mean I agree. It can just mean I'm listening or I understand. If you nod while the other person is speaking, it lowers their defenses. It makes them feel heard.
And watch your tone. If you say, I beg to differ, with a sarcastic high-pitched tone, it sounds aggressive. You want a calm, level, curiosity-driven tone. Imagine you're a detective trying to solve a puzzle together, not a boxer trying to win a fight.
That is a great metaphor. Be a detective, not a boxer. Keep your voice low and slow. If you shout, the logic leaves the room and emotion takes over. Stay calm to stay in control.
Finally, let's learn a specific technique for giving negative feedback or criticizing an idea without hurting feelings. It's called the sandwich method. Have you used this, Brian?
All the time. It's a classic management technique. Imagine a sandwich. You have the bread on the top, the meat in the middle, and the bread on the bottom.
The top bread is a positive comment. The meat is the criticism or the disagreement. The bottom bread is another positive comment or an encouraging closing.
Let's give an example. Imagine your colleague proposes a marketing plan that is too expensive. You don't want to just say, it is too expensive.
First, the top bread. I think the creative concept behind this plan is fantastic and I love the visuals.
Then the meat, the criticism. However, looking at the budget, I'm concerned that the costs are significantly higher than what we allocated for this quarter.
And finally, the bottom bread. But I'm confident that if we can find some cheaper suppliers, this campaign will be a huge success.
See? You said no to the budget, but the person still feels good about their work.
It softens the blow. It separates the person from the problem. You're validating their effort, positive, addressing the issue, negative, and moving forward, positive. Just make sure your compliments are genuine, otherwise it tastes like a stale sandwich. Conclusion.
See? We debated, we disagreed, but we found a solution, and nobody cried.
That's the power of respectful language. We used phrases like, I see where you're coming from, and I beg to differ.
We learned how to play devil's advocate and how to agree to disagree.
Remember, your opinion matters, but how you say it matters even more.
Listeners, we want to hear your opinion. Do you prefer working from the office or from home? Give us your hot take in the comments.
Practice these phrases next time you disagree with someone. Be brave, but be kind.
Thanks for listening to episode 201. See you next time.
Goodbye.